Good morning, everyone. It's Friday morning, and good morning especially to Lorenza, who's been pestering me for this one. No, not at all pestering, just asked whether I was going to do it. I know I said I would do it. I've been focusing on, obviously, uploading all of the notes for you. Do please make sure, if you're listening to this, that you're looking through those notes that I've uploaded from Austin, because I think that they could help you quite a lot. I'm going to go quite quickly through this. At pater, but my father Anchises Lightus happily extulit, but my father Anchises happily raises his eyes to the skies, and with and raises his eyes up to the skies, and he uplifts, and he raises tetendit, and he lifts to heaven, Kylo, his hands with his voice, Jupiter omnipotens, Almighty Jupiter. See, if you are to be moved by ulis precibus, by any prayers, aspice nos, look upon us, I ask only this. Aspice, look upon us, hoc tantum, only this. I ask only this, hoc tantum. And if we are deserving it from our piety, then give help, Father, and confirm this omen. Again, make sure you know what that omen is. The crown of flames. The older man, Senior, had scarcely spoken those things when, with a subito fragore, with a sudden crash, there was thunder. It thundered on the left, and gliding lapsa through the lapsa per umbras, gliding down through the shadows. When there was thunder on the left, and gliding through the shadows, a stella, a star, burst forth, should we say, cucurit, burst out, cucurit, from Kylo, from heaven, ducens, leading a facem, a fiery trail, with its multa luce, with its flood of light. We watched that gliding over the Cernimus. We saw it gliding labentem over the roof of the palace, and landing in the forest Idea of Ida. Remember the forest of Ida that we're going to see later on. They're going to gather together there, and they're also going to use it to chop up the wood. Landing in the forest of Ida, the marking its path, I suppose, signitantem, marking its path, with its splendidly marking its path. Tum longo. Then it shines with its long furrow. Then it shines, that gives light with its long furrow. And all around, latte, all around, it reeks fumant with its sulfur. Hic vero, this indeed, my father was victus, was overcome. Tolit se, he lifts himself up. At this, my father was won over. He lifts himself up to the. He lifts himself up, so you could say gets up to his. I don't want to say gets up to the air. So lifts himself up to his feet. He gets up, and he addresses the gods. He speaks to the gods, and he worships the Sanctum Sidus, this divine star, this holy star. Now, for that. Now there is no delay. I follow, and where you lead, there I am. Ad sum. Now there is no delay. Secor, I'm following, and quaducitis, where you lead, I am there. Di patri, gods of my fathers, save my house, save my grandson. This omen is yours. Vestro in numine, Troy is standing under your protection, let's say, Kedo. Yes, indeed, I yield, and I do not refuse Nate, my son, to go as your companion. He had spoken, and now, Permonia, and now throughout the walls of the city, the blaze is auditor, is heard, clario, more loudly, and Propius, nearer, the flames, volvent, roll in their roll over, and nearer, the heat rolls over, the flames roll over. Come then, ergo, age, come therefore, my dear father, climb upon nostrae cervici, my neck. I will support you, I myself will support you on my shoulders, and this task will not weigh me down. Nec me labor iste, and that task will not weigh me down. Quo res, however matters may fall, unum, we too will have this common danger. There will be one salvation. So we too will have this common danger. We together will have the common salvation. That we will have salvation together. Mihi parvus, apologies if there are any little errors here. I'm just working through it as I'm looking at it. I haven't got time to also write on the Latin as we're going through because it'll be too long a video. Mihi parvus Julius, just as subjunctive here. Little Julius may come here as my companion, and my wife, let my wife follow our footsteps. Longe at a distance. You all know what's going to happen here. You servants, I said before, he never uses the word servant, he uses family. Where we get the word family from, like household. You servants, listen to what I say. So you servants, turn your hearts to what I say. There is a mound and an ancient temple of deserted Keres when you leave the city. There is, when you've left the city, a mound and an ancient temple of deserted Keres. We spoke about that, with an old cypress next to it, with an old cypress tree next to it, and next to it an ancient cypress tree, saved for many years by the care servata per annos, saved for many years through the devotion of our fathers. We will come to this one spot from different directions. Veniemus, we will come, Hank, to this one spot from different directions. Tu genitor, you, father, take in your arms. You, father, take in your arms, cape, take in your hands the sacred emblems, the sacra, the sacred emblems, and the penates. Remember the household gods that we talked about, different to lares. It's worth looking at the difference between those two. The household gods, me. So take in your hands the sacred emblems and the household gods. For me, it would be sinful. It would be sinful, for me, having left from that great fighting and from recent slaughter. It would be sinful for me to handle them until I have washed myself, till I've cleansed myself in running water. I spoke these things and I spread the cover of a tawny lion's pelt. Speaking these things, I placed the cover instead of a tawny lion's pelt over my broad shoulders, over my latos, over my broad shoulders, and my bowed subjecta collar, and my bowed neck. Notice all the pietas here. And I bowed down and I lowered myself to the burden. Dextrae, little Julius, Parvus Julius, held my hand, clasped my hand, impliquit, and he followed his father with steps that were not matching. Behind me came my wife. We passed on. You can hear all of this noise of people outside the house. All of the kids are running around getting themselves sorted for the Bulldogs match tomorrow. I live in West Footscray, so they're all very excited. So I'm actually just moving over now into the laundry because I'm not going to record this whole speech again. So behind me, Pone, running around the house. Behind me came my wife, pone, or behind me comes my wife. We pass on, Ferrimore. We pass on through the shadows of the places, and I, or what about this? And now, all the winds terrify me, quem, whom, beforehand, no missiles that had been thrown were frightening, were moving, nor any Greeks, nor any Greeks in a hostile crowd, nor any Greeks gathered together in an opposing crowd, in an enemy crowd, let's say. So none of those could move me. Now all the winds were frightening me. Sonus excitat. Every sound startles me. Suspensum, frightened and fearing, timentem, alike for my companion and for my onerique and for my burden. Jamque. And now I was drawing near to the gates, and I thought, and I seemed to have finished all my journey, and I seemed to have completed omnem viam, all my journey, when suddenly, crowding upon my ears, there seemed to be the sonatus, the trampling of feet, and my father, looking through the darkness, shouted out, "My son, flee, my son, they are approaching." I see their glowing shields, I see their ardentes, their burning shields, and the glittering brass. Remember, these are the shields reflecting the fires, the flames. At this, in my alarm, hic, nescio quod, I know not what, literally some evil power or other stole away my distracted wits, my distracted mind. At this, in my trepido, in my alarm, in my anxiety, some evil numen power, literally some power not friendly, but some evil power stole away my confusam, my distracted mind. For while I plunged down the streets, and while I follow the course of the streets that are known to me, so for a while I head down paths, and for a while I head down paths, and while I leave behind the course of the streets known to me, alas, my wife Creusa was snatched from me, conjunx, my wife Creusa was snatched from me by a misero fato, by an unhappy fate. Substitit, on John Moore here, did she halt? It's not even actually on John Moore, sorry, it's not the sentence going over, it's just a single word. Did she halt? Did she stray from the path? Or did she sit down exhausted? Witque, did she stray from the path, or did she sit down exhausted? I don't know, I'm uncertain. Never again was she returned to my eyes, nec prius, nor did I look back for my lost one, nor did I cast animum, a thought, back behind. Until quam we came, here's the enjambment, until we came to the mound and the sacred home of ancient Ceres. Hic, the isolated venimus enjambment. Here at last, when we were all gathered together, she alone was missing. Hic, here, finally, with all of us gathered together, she alone was missing, and, comites, she had fefelet, and she vanished from her companions, her child, and her husband. What, quem, literally, whom did I not out of my mind, amens, and in my frenzy, whom did I not accuse? Of gods and of men. Whom did I not blame? Of gods and of men. What man or god, whom of gods or men did I not blame in my frenzy? What crueler thing did I see in the overthrown city? Ascanius, for I entrust Ascanius, my father Anchises, and the household gods of Troy, and the Trojan household gods, to my comrades, and I hid them in the curved veil. I myself, ipse, again make for the city, and I put on my glittering arms. I am resolved, literally it stands for me, but I am resolved to take on each risk and to retrace, reverti, my way through all of Troy, and to retrace my way. So I am resolved to take on omnis casus, all risks, and to retrace my way through all of Troy, and to put my life, literally to put my head, but to put my life on every danger. Whew, that was a long one. Well done, everybody.